Good Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. It is November 25th, 2019. Hail the Fandom Menace. This is the place to be. Reviews Monday night going in raw. I am Mr. Monday Night, Etep Wakuian, PDD, whatever you want to call me. I am joined this evening by my co-host, the Don of 2 Cents Toys, the Director of Marketing for the Boardroom. Ladies and gentlemen, hail Salvador.
Hello and salutations. It's me, Salvador, and it is my fault that we are late, but these things happen. I will take full responsibility for that. However, I'm here to entertain you, and you better fucking laugh or I'm coming for you.
It's all good, man. I was joking around with him in the chat. I started kind of talking to everybody in there. While you're here, be sure to bitch slap that like button, as I saw we had a couple. So yeah, we actually have a big show tonight. Lot to talk about. We're going to talk a lot about some Star Wars, got some MCU news, and some other stuff at the end. Oh yeah, we have Etep's Movie Monday. I'll be sitting in for MJ on that, and we'll do the box office breakdown over the weekend, and we will watch that new Rise of Skywalker spot, Fate, as it was titled. Have you seen that yet, Sal?
Oh, the new one where it's like 10 seconds of extreme letdown?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it earlier today, and I was like, what was the point in releasing that?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
It doesn't want, I mean, it was it was basically stuff we've already seen in all the trailers leading up to it, just all sequenced together, and it was like, okay, they're like, they can fly now. I'm like, troopers have been flying for a while.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, it was such a big deal. I'm like, yeah. Are they totally ignoring the jetpack clone troopers?
I think so. We've in the last week we've learned a lot about their inability to keep track of things.
And we are going to talk about that because I just saw an article from the New York Post too about a script being left in a hotel room and sold on eBay.
Outstanding.
For Rise of Skywalker. Have you heard that one yet?
I have not heard that, but it sounds like they're not going to be getting a job in Hollywood anytime soon.
Oh no, this is one of the main actors that left this script because none of the secondary characters are had scripts that were given to them that were allowed to leave the premises of where they were shooting.
Eesh.
Mm-hmm. So that lets you know that it was either Adam Driver or Daisy Ridley.
Well, as I'm sure Daisy Ridley, or Raisy Diddley as we like to call her, is a very nice lady. I can't speak much to her acting chops because I've only seen her in those 2 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was her career's over. Adam Driver's been in a few other things peppered here and there, so I feel like he might be able to bounce back from it.
He's actually in a movie with Scarlett Johansson right now. They're going through a divorce.
He should be so lucky.
I know. That's why I said, I was like, man, is that an odd pairing? That's like putting the Elephant Man with with Margot Robbie or something. I mean, it just, yeesh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we've got a lot to get to here. So let's pop on over here, and first we will start with Movie Monday, and I will do a screen share of this as we'll pop over to IMDb, take a look at what's coming out this for the next couple weeks here, basically. Let's see here. So we've got what is this? Brahms, The Boy 2. This is a horror mystery thriller. After a family moves into the Heelshire mansion, their young son makes friends with a lifelike doll called Brahms. That just sounds creepy.
Okay, I remember The Boy coming out mostly because of the frog meme that came. Hi, Zeb. Sorry, the dog's in my lap again. I remember, wasn't it the frog on the bicycle was that boy? Didn't that meme come from that movie?
It might have. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the. Okay, well, I'm sure it worked so great it deserves a sequel almost 5 or 6 years later, but.
Yeah, I didn't even hear anything about this one. These are coming out December 6th because there was really nothing dropping this weekend.
Right, because I guess Halloween would have been too on the nose.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have. Playmobil, the movie.
All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because Playmobil was a huge part of everyone's childhood, just like Lego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I have some of those, but I never really had many of them. I kind of got past those really quick. That is a 25 Metascore.
Jesus. Yeah, Playmobil is one of those things. Like I remember having them as a kid, but I don't ever remember getting them or playing with them. So I'm sure it was before I had like cognitive memory or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
let's see. I have like a Stagecoach and like some Cowboys and Indians figures. They used to give them away at McDonald's, actually. I remember that. Let's see. The Aeronauts is coming out. That is a PG-13, 100 minutes action adventure. Pilot Amelia. Oh, it's Felicity Jones. Pilot Amelia Wren and scientist James Glacier, Eddie Redmayne, find themselves in an epic fight for survival while attempting to make discoveries in a gas balloon.
So around the world in 80 days.
Yeah, basically.
Got it.
Yeah, that's Felicity Jones. She was in that the Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie. But I don't really know too much outside of Rogue One and that movie that she's done. So
yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that the Rogue One lady?
Yep. Let's see.
When she was supposed to face on a TIE fighter and they cut it out of the movie.
Yeah. Here we have Embresos de un Ascencio. Ascenso. Arsenio Hall. Victor.
It's a movie about Arsenio Hall, only done in Spanish.
Let's see. Victor is one of the world's most handsome men, but he has a deep secret. He is a cold-blooded assassin. Smooth talking and seductive, Victor was raised to do one thing only, which is to kill for money. When he is sent to the home of a brutal drug lord to collect payment for his most recent hit, he encounters the beautiful Sarah. We're just going to call her Sarah, Alicia Sands, who has been forced to spend the last 9 years of her life with the drug lord. Oh, she's got Stockholm Syndrome by now.
Gotcha.
After Victor leaves the compound, Sarah seizes her chance at freedom by hiding out in Victor's car, but things don't go as planned. Instead of being transported back to her home, she finds herself free from one dangerous man, only to be caught in the clutches of another. While on the run from the vengeful drug lord and his brutal henchmen, Victor's conscience catches up with him as he risks all that he stood for to protect his captive. In the end, the power Sarah unknowingly holds over Victor, and their undeniable attraction may be what places her right in the arms of a killer. Oh, this sounds like a fucking winner.
That sounds like a telenovela.
I know. I'm like, shouldn't this be on like Univision or something like that in the afternoon?
Telemundo.
Let's see. Sabado on Telemundo. Portrait of a Lady on Fire, 121 minutes, drama romance, on an isolated island in Brittany at the end of the 18th century. A female painter is obliged to paint a wedding portrait of a young woman. Oh, that's going to be a snooze fest.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire. That's like when movies are titled something like that, I'm like, it's either going to be really good, like No Country for Old Men. It was really good, but the title had almost nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like a college student that had parents that had enough money to get them a theatrical released movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably going to be like all black and white. It'll be silent, and the lady will peel bananas while crying or something.
I'm just going to cry softly. Oh, God. Let's see here. What else do we have? Little Joe 2019. Alice, a single mother, is a dedicated senior plant breeder at a corporation engaged in developing new species. Against company policy, she takes one home as a gift for her teenage son, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
I don't have to see it now. It sounds like the whole damn story.
I was going to say, did they leave anything to the imagination there, or did they just throw it all out and say, okay, well, this is what we're doing?
Lord.
I mean, really, that's not a very, I don't know, it just doesn't seem very good at all. I don't know.
Little House of Horrors is like Little Shop of Horrors is like the one plant-based movie you could watch.
Yep. Especially because that Rick Moranis and Steve Martin, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Here's Midnight Family. In Mexico's wealthiest neighborhoods, The Ochoa family runs a private ambulance, competing with other for-profit EMTs for patients in need of urgent help. That's a documentary in 90 minutes.
Uh,
Next.
that, I don't know. That could be interesting for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 out of 90. After that, there, I guarantee it's going to lose me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is December 13th. We'll look through a couple of these here because there's a couple good ones. Jumanji, The Next Level, 114-minute action. That I really want to see. I've never seen the first one. Like I've seen the original, but I haven't seen like the rebooted version.
Yeah, I saw the original one when it was in theaters, and then I didn't see the new one with The Rock.
It looks good, so
Yeah, it got pretty good praise, but it didn't tickle my taint. So
I won't complain about looking at Karen Gillian for
Yeah,
114 minutes with that outfit on because
I don't complain about looking at her with a shaved blue head.
no, really, not many women can pull off a shaved head, and she's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another one. Black Christmas 2019 horror. A group of female students are stalked by a stranger during their Christmas break. That is until the young sorority pledges discover that the killer is part of an underground college conspiracy. This is. I don't know if this is actually supposed to be a reboot of the. The other one only came out in like 2006, maybe, and that the original one was from the 80s. But they rebooted the original. And then I don't know if this is supposed to be because the trailer kind of gives the entire movie away. Did we watch the trailer for this together?
We didn't. I think you did watch it, but I wasn't a part of it. But yeah, it's according to the Young Wiki, Black Christmas is an upcoming 2019 slash film directed by Sophia Takal and written by Takal and April Wolf. It is a second, quote, loose remake of the 1974 Canadian film Black Christmas after the 2006 film. So yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so in the trailer for this, they give away the entire plot, which is this underground college conspiracy is a group of, it's a fraternity, of course, a white fraternity led by Carrie Elwes, and they have been killing these girls, and then the girls, of course, turn the tables on them. And the one of the characters, one of the females, before they start like this like big fight scene, she's like, and I don't know if it'll be in the movie because it's just such a cringy line. It's like, you mess with the wrong sisters. I'm like, oh my god, you go girl, stunning and brave.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I started giggling like a middle schooler because the lead actress's name, who is she portraying? She's playing Riley Stone. Her name is Imogen Poots.
I'm looking at it, Imogen. She's not I don't think she's from across the pond with a name like Imogen.
Yeah, no, she's from Hammersmith, England.
Yep. See?
Yeah. Well, Imogen is like, that's not too bad a name, but her last name is Poots.
Yeah, the Poots is fine. I don't mind the first name. The Poots is kind of funny though.
Oh god. Well, I might make myself laugh.
Oh, here we go right here. 2019, Richard Jewell, 129-minute drama. American security guard Richard Jewell, played by Paul Walter Hauser, saves thousands of lives from an exploding bomb at the 1996 Olympics, but is vilified by journalists and the press who falsely report that he was a terrorist. I actually remember this because I was 16 when this happened. And I just remember all the media coverage over it. And this guy just got destroyed. I mean, they ruined him, and he was he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that's it's something I was in 1996, so I was like 7 or 8 years old at the time. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been aware of that, but
Yep.
it seems like something that shouldn't have drifted so far from consciousness, because the previews I saw made it look like he was doing his job, and then like they're trying to say that he planted it or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, okay, so it's based on true events. I'm like, all right, so it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be how everything played out and you make up your own mind, or there's going to be like a slant to it one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I won't go to the theater to see that one, but I'll watch it once it comes out, and I can see it at home. I mean, the cast is good. You got Olivia Wilde, Sam Rockwell, John Hamm. So I mean, it's got a decent cast. Kathy Bates is in it. So Let's see.
I can't look at her the same way after watching was it
Oh
about
God,
Schmidt?
yeah, about Schmidt. Nobody warned me about that scene.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's something that's always and I love The Office, and she was on The Office, so I can't
Mhm.
get that image out of my mind. It's terrible. I'm watching when the episodes when she was in there. Oof. Let's see what do we got here. Uncut Gems. This is a 135-minute comedy. This is an Adam Sandler movie, so who knows
Oh
how.
yeah, that's he's a jeweler, but he like has gambling problems, gets involved with like rappers and high profile athletes and like
Yep,
gangs and shit.
that's yeah. You just summed that one up.
Yeah.
And let's see the rest of these. I mean, there's you got yeah, and then it goes up to the 20th. There's a couple more, but nothing really of note there outside of what we mentioned. So yeah, it was yeah. There's really nothing coming up there, but yeah, that frickin' that Black Christmas movie, it just looks incredibly, horribly, undeniably woke. Like I said, when they take that turn,
Hmm.
it's just it was just cringy. It was so cringy. Let's
Yeah.
see. Raiders says, let me acknowledge a chat here for a second. Let's see here. And she was in Need for, Flare X says she was in Need for Speed, that Imogen Poots.
Imogen
Um,
Poots.
he says she's hot. Let's see. Raiders says Uncut Gems looks good. Could be a comeback for Sandler or could be a waste of time. Yeah, that's you never know what you're getting with Adam Sandler. It's either a really big hit or it's That's My Boy,
Mhm.
which was funny, but it was one of those movies that's just like you're laughing at it because
Mhm.
it's so asinine and ridiculous. Um, but I don't know. I've been an Adam Fandler. I've been an Adam Fandler fan since the back when he used to release the comedy CDs. They're
Mhm.
all gonna laugh at you and all that. Oh my God, Toll Booth Willie. I adored him. And he was so great in the '90s, and then it just kind of slowly descended into what was that movie where we had Spanglish, and there was another one that was really just epically bad.
Punch Drunk Love.
Yes, Punch Drunk Love. Thank you. That's a
Yeah.
movie I watched like half of, and I'm like, I'm not finishing this.
That's the first time I can remember watching a movie and like getting physically angry
Yep.
because I was God, probably 14 or 15 where I was on TV and I watched it because I was like, oh, Adam Sandler's hilarious. And then I watched the whole thing. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? I
Yeah.
couldn't make heads or tails of it. I didn't understand anything that was going on.
That's like the worst too, is when you're sitting there and it's like especially you like when you're younger, it's like because it could be a good movie, but you just really don't realize it. But and then some cases you don't understand it because it's that stupid. And Punch
Mhm.
Drunk Love was absolutely that stupid. What's up, Keely Chow? Thank you for joining us this evening. Keely Chow just popped into the chat. We're up
Hello,
to
David Chow.
we are up to 123 subscribers over here right now. So if you're
Excellent.
if you thank you. If you're listening and you're not subscribed, be sure to go over and hit that subscribe button and ding that bell for notifications because YouTube is really messing with the algorithms. And coming January 1st, it's only going to get worse.
Yes, sir, it is.
Only going to get worse. I actually watched one of those COPPA videos you sent me earlier,
Yeah.
and that was like it was about 27 minutes. I watched it while I was cooking dinner, so it
Mhm.
worked. It worked out perfect.
Yeah. It's a very bleak future.
And we're just now starting to get things rolling. And speaking of getting things rolling, your channel has picked up a lot of steam. That's 2 Cents Toys. What's your sub count now?
I know it's in the high 80s. I picked up a sub right before we went live, but I don't know if
Great.
that pushed me into the 90s territory or not.
Hell, that is great.
Yeah, I'm quickly approaching to get my 100 subscriber mark, and I've got 91 videos, so I'm about to hit 100 on both fronts.
Hell yeah. Good deal, man. That's I like to see that. That's we're kind of up. Everybody's on that little uptick. Mine's been kind of. I had a little burst there for a bit, and it kind
Mhm.
of slowed down and tapered off. And I picked up like 3 in the last couple days. So it's
Yeah.
it's good. It's going good. I'm happy with it. Did my Walking Dead video today. Those are such, I don't know, unless you're like one of the big Walking Dead channels. I really don't think those get a lot of hits. There was no Batwoman to review today, thank God though. So
Oh,
they're doing the episode 8. I believe it'll be like the mid-season finale. I think they're going to do that, I'm not sure.
hope
But
it would be a goodbye finale.
oh my God. Well, I guess it's hemorrhaged like a couple million viewers. That and Supergirl both again, which Supergirl was already under 1 million viewers. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so I don't know how they're, I think they don't. CW doesn't want to admit defeat with anything, especially their woke stuff like that. And
No, it's like we have people in the fandom menace. They get more views than on one YouTube video than Supergirl's getting right now.
yes, seriously, it's oh man, it is. Yeah, it's funny because that show it's so bad. Like I watch it and I review it, but my damn videos do well. Like
Mhm.
the one I did last week is still getting views. So I'm like, and I figured with the week off it might get a little bit more, and because the last 3 have broke 100.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, yeah, and I'm looking back and I'm like, god damn, I was like, I don't want to do more videos about Batwoman though.
Mhm.
I can't, my sanity can't take that.
No, I
But
don't blame you.
no. So let's see here. So we went through that. Let's do the box office breakdown. We'll take a look at the performance of some of these movies that are in theaters now, and
All right.
after that, we'll watch the Skywalker trailer here as we pop on over to Box Office Mojo and look at Frozen 2.
Oh, Frozen. I never even saw the first one.
No,
I've successfully avoided that thus far.
Frozen 2. That's insane that opened to that.
Opened. I can't read it. It's too small for me.
Oh, it says $130 million.
That's it.
That's just domestic, though.
Ah.
That's just domestic. I'm just looking at the domestics here. Ford versus Ferrari, 2 weeks in, still made 15,730,678. It is down 50% from last weekend. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood opened to $13,251,238. Now, I Groove saw A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and he did a review over on Friday night on his show, Raiders of Lost Flicks Live. I was there with him and MJ, and that sounds like a good movie.
That's the biopic about Mr. Rogers, right?
Well, it is actually not a biopic. It is a fictional account of a man who is interviewing him, and how they kind of he originally sets out from what it sounded like to be like a hit piece. Now these are all spoiler free, because we do have some big spoilers I'm going to drop later on. So stay tuned for that. Do not go anywhere if you want some spoilers later on for some MCU stuff. I've got some that are if you haven't heard them yet, we're gonna talk about that in the MCU news segment later on. But no, so Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood really sounded good, and it sounds like Tom Hanks nailed the portrayal of it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I always thought it was a biopic.
Nope. Groove just said in the chat it's not a biopic, it's more of a fairy tale, just because of the way it's portrayed. So I thought it was too. I was thinking that we were getting a biopic, which I would have been happy with.
Yeah, that's huh. Well, I wonder now, since they've made that movie, how long it'll be before they make a biopic.
I know. And I guess the bigger question is, when are we getting a Captain Kangaroo movie?
Hell yeah.
Thank you for at least knowing who Captain Kangaroo is, given you're quite a bit younger than me. Because
I want them to do make a trilogy: Captain Kangaroo, Howdy Doody, and fucking Mr. Ed.
that would be fucking sweet. What wasn't sweet was the opening weekend performance of a movie that I was anxious to see, but both Groove and Monica saw it and said it was bad. Was 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman, which opened to an abysmal, almost Charlie's Angels-esque numbers of $9,250,117.
I guess just because you're in a Marvel movie it doesn't mean anything, huh?
No, because this one it sounded like that was a real stinker. It was bad. It was bad and
It looked good in the trailer.
exactly. And apparently, it is slow. It is poorly laid out. It's not a good film. It's very predictable. Like they give everything away up front. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably watch it. I'll suffer through it from the sounds of it, but yeah. Let's see, number 5. We'll just do the top. We'll do the top 10 here, and I'll drop down for. Now we'll just do the top 10. Let's see. Number 5, Midway from Lionsgate, $4,640,673 for a 45.4% drop in its third week. Overall, 43 million. I don't know what budget I had.
As someone, I was really looking forward to Midway because I was like, oh man, that speaks to me, given my profession.
Yeah.
And I was really looking for like the Battle of Midway, the Battle of Coral Sea, like they were very important battles, especially Midway, Guadalcanal, all that shit.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they gave it the Pearl Harbor treatment.
Oh God.
Yeah.
They made it a love story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard from sources that went and saw it. They're like, if you didn't like Pearl Harbor, you're not gonna like this movie. It's like, well, Pearl Harbor fucking sucked.
Yeah, I watched.
It wasn't supposed to have that whole love thing in it in Pearl Harbor, but I forget, someone like shoehorned it in there or something like that. It wasn't originally in the script.
Yeah, was it Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett fighting over Liv Tyler or something? I don't know. I don't know.
It's fucking Batman and some other dude fighting over fucking that elf from Lord of the Rings.
Jamie Lee Curtis's kid from Halloween H2O versus Batman for the elf.
That'd probably be a better movie.
Or wait, Josh Hartnett was in 30 Days of Night too.
Oh God, I forgot I even saw that movie.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I didn't mind that one.
I saw it. I was in college, I think, when it came out, and it was like a midnight show, and we went and watched it, and I was not impressed.
It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't it wasn't John Carpenter's 1998 vampire movie, but it was decent. I really like John Carpenter's Vampires. That's a great fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
A bit campy, but it's good. Let's see. Number 6, we have Playing with Fire, which is the John Cena movie, which MJ saw too, and that one's fucking terrible. That is in its third week. It made $4,515,000, down 45.8%. Let's see. Number 7, The Good Liar. That's with Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren.
Yeah, he's like the guy? He's like a grifter or something like that.
Yes, that only made $3 million. That's down 39.3%. For a 2-week gross of 11 million domestic. Ouch. Like that's bad. Like I would have thought just with Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen, but apparently the young crowd saying okay boomer, and they're not going to see the movie.
They really should, because in a few years their parents might be in that situation.
Yep.
You see it all the time. You see like elderly people that get married like in their twilight years, and then one of them dies, and then the other one inherits all the money that the kids and grandkids were supposed to get.
Oh, so. Trust me, that rings all too well with something that happened a few years ago in my family.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know. Let's see. Number 8, we have my favorite, Charlie's Angels, a Sony Pictures release, made $3,236,460,000, down 61.2%.
Woof.
In its second week, for a domestic total of $14,252,052. Oof.
That's what we call oof squared.
Oh God.
The big oof.
I guess they have almost with the foreign market because they're at 14 million. I think they're almost at what the original production budget was, but they're still about 10 million shy of that.
Eesh.
I mean, they'll probably get their production budget, but they won't make back the marketing for it.
Mhm.
So they're going to lose money. They'll lose, like I said, because you can almost what is it? You can almost double a film's say if they like Joker. You know,
Mhm.
say Joker was a $55 million budget. So with marketing and everything, they probably spent 110 million. Um, you know, so but I mean, adjusted gross on that movie, it's still the most profitable movie of all time.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's the first R-rated film to break a billion, I believe it was. So, I mean, these so to say Charlie's Angels is going to break even, it's not technically going to break even if they make the production budget back because they won't cover everything. They're still in the red.
Oh, yeah. That's I feel like Charlie's Angels is what happens when you live in an echo chamber.
Yes.
Like let's say like you have a group of like four friends or whatever that you hang out with all the time, and you're the funniest one out of your group of friends because they're always laughing at stuff that you say. But everything that you say is like inside jokes only the people you hang out with would get. And they're like, oh, you should do stand up. So you go do open mic somewhere and you just completely fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened.
Yep. Snapchat the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I said, and now Groove's got me roped into watching Cats. Now I'm not going to see it in the theater. I'm going to sail the high seas and find it somewhere. Because I'll be unfortunately in the theater watching Rise of Skywalker opening weekend with me mom. So yeah, let's let's number 9. Oh boy, here's the George Michael song, the Wham hit that got turned into a movie last Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Paul Feig movie, the Ghostbusters guy.
Hey, remember that one movie you made that really sucked and no one liked and panned really bad? Here's more money. Go make another.
Yep. You know, this song is literally, or this movie is literally based on the Wham song.
Right.
Like,
Last Christmas, they gave me my heart.
yeah, like the girl is, spoiler alert, if you're gonna go see Last Christmas, I doubt anybody listening is. The fucking girl is dating a guy who is like a ghost. It was like a donor because of her heart or something. Just like the song. So yeah, she's like, yeah, it's this is a horrible premise for a movie, and it sounds like something Paul Feig would do because Paul Feig is a beta. Yeah, it made three.
Pete, you just don't understand.
Yeah, Paul Feig doesn't understand. He's a man, but he doesn't understand how to write male characters.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that made $3,099,535 for a 52.3% drop in its third week, with a total domestic gross of $27,851,925. And rounding out the top 10, Joker from Warner Brothers with a $2,746,029 weekend, which in its 8th week, it still made $2.7 million in its 8th freaking week.
That's impressive.
Yeah, the domestic total on Joker is $326,857,842, and that is over $1 billion. So that means it made $700 million. We're over 700 million worldwide. So yeah, on like I said, on a $55 million budget, probably cost them around 100 to 110 million dollars. So they have literally made all that money back. I mean, and what's his name? Todd Phillips, the director, made what did he make? Like 100. It was like $100 million.
Probably.
I think he made $100 million, something stupid for this movie. I mean, it was ridiculous money.
That's well. Hopefully, he's smart with his money and doesn't get remarried in his twilight years and then leave it to the new spouse.
Yes. Oh. I want to point out one more stinker here, and that is Jojo Rabbit, Taco Tuesdays movie.
Oh, with the fucking the youth.
Yep. Yeah, the that German dictator youth there. I don't think we should say the name really. I think that YouTube kind of frowns upon that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that guy with the funny mustache that made $1,588,234 in its sixth week, down 42.5%. But the total domestic gross is only 16,147 or $140,947. So yeah, that didn't do too well domestically. So I'm kind of happy to see that. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of that movie when I learned about it. Like, what the really, dude? No, I'm not. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah.
I have a
Voicing, bounty hunter droids.
I have a very dark and macabre sense of humor. Not really too much offends me or bothers me, but yeah, you start going down that road, and that's a little touchy.
Right.
But so yeah, let's see. So we've done the box office breakdown. We've had the movie Monday. Now, want to watch us a Star Wars trailer before we get into the first main topic here tonight.
Outstanding.
All right. So this is the Fate spot. Let me make sure I click this little share audio button down here. We'll pop this up to full screen. I'll get the volume turned up so I can get a copyright claim here. So I'm sitting on a pile of those right now anyway. So whatever, let's have fun with it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Fate spot. This is only 30 seconds, so here we go.
Confronting fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
If this mission fails, it was all for nothing.
We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
Your journey is its end.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Tickets available now.
All right, we can go back here. I'm gonna mute it, and we're gonna kind of skip through this. Let's see here. I want to get to right here. Look at we see the Knights of all the Darth Emos.
The Knights who say me.
Oh, this is just too funny. Like they look like they're wearing those old they got a bucket there. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, it flies. They can fly now. Like we were talking about off air. Did they forget about the jetpack clone troopers?
Yeah, probably. Or the fact that the thing is they're acting like this is a new technology. It's like so the Mandalorians mean absolutely nothing to them. Got it.
Not even speaking about the Mandalorian. I mean, or the Mandalorians as a whole, because in the we learned Django. He had his jetpack. Boba had his jetpack. This scene right here. This is typical JJ. Wait, let me go. God damn it. Go back to it here. I'm gonna skip to the Star Destroyer scene right here. But let's see. Hang on. Right there. Okay. Oh God. Doesn't this kind of remind you of oh yeah, that's right. They pulled this right out of the Dark Empire in the EU. It's surrounded by like Palpatine's like Force Storm, like the entire fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, didn't he use that to destroy like worlds and like entire fleets in the EU? And
yeah, he was like really OP in the EU.
Yeah, I don't. This is it's wonky, man. I mean, this really, where's this scene at? Like, there she is. There's our girl, and there's Charlie from Lost, Dominic Monaghan, one of the hobbits.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in that movie for all like 10 minutes tops. That's probably like the first and last time you see him.
Just like Ed Sheeran. Here, let's pop off here. But yeah, I don't know why they thought they needed to release another teaser trailer, right now. It doesn't really make, I don't know. I'm not excited. I'm not excited. Like I said, I'm going to see it, but I'm not excited about it at all. Like there's no level of anticipation other than how hard am I going to laugh in the theater at this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. Like
I mean,
I don't know. I'm not gonna go see it. I'm flat out not gonna go see it unless someone I trust comes out and says, "Hey, this movie's actually really fucking good." Then I'll go see it. But if they like, I I'm too invested in Fallen Order and Mandalorian to give that any time of day.
yeah. And the actually the first chapter, the first like series. I don't know if they're going to do how many seasons they're planning on doing of the Mandalorian, but I guess the last episode airs right before Rise of Skywalker comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm kind of scared that they're going to try to do something stupid, and I don't know.
Like trying to connect it to the movie somehow.
Not the Mandalorian show, but try to like I don't know. They might try to do something in the movie. I don't know because I mean, are they? I guess they just finished shooting. They just finished the movie that's coming out in like 3 weeks, or
Yeah.
it's under a month. I mean, you're talking 3.5 weeks right now. So, I mean, you're telling me you just finished this fucking movie? You just finished it a month before it's supposed to be released. This all this lead up to this, and this is the end of the saga, and you're just now finished with it. Like this movie should have been done months and months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's inexcusable. And then they're releasing articles trying to justify it. They're like, oh, well, JJ is known to tinker with things right up until the 11th hour. And it's like, then why do you hire him?
Yeah. JJ's a grifter.
Yeah.
He is like the master of it. I mean, he's already done it to Star Trek. Now he's doing it to Star Wars. And he's going to go over and fuck DC up next. And that's the trepidation I have with the Joker movie is Jar Jar and Bad Reboot and going to get their grubby little hands on the Joker sequel in some capacity and just kind of mess that up.
Well, if I'm going to say this, but y'all can put your pitchforks and your torches down. If he does get a hold of it, I'd be okay with him getting a hold of it and it dying, so that the Joker potential franchise, could be a martyr and show Hollywood like, hey, maybe these people that ruin properties, stop giving them work.
Yes.
So, but that's the only condition is that if it proves to be successful as a martyr, and be like, look, it failed because you let this guy touch it. Stop hiring these people.
Yep. And that's my fear is that they're gonna so they're gonna do a sequel, and I'm afraid that they're gonna go for a huge budget. Some and I hope they don't, but go for some overinflated budget and just make it, a spectacle when it doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
That's what we don't need them to do.
No, I liked in the Joker, it was like other than CGI being used for, safety reasons, it was mostly practical effects. There was nothing huge over the top about it. It wasn't anyone doing acrobatics or anything. It was just the tale of one man's slip into insanity and the society that brought him to that point.
Yep. And that whole argument about the incel thing, that really didn't pan out the way they thought it would.
No, not even a little bit. On the flip side of that, I saw that there was some kind of like machete attack or something at one of the screenings of Frozen 2.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, "Yep." Apparently, you're safe from incels at the Joker movie, but you have to worry about those machete wielding teenagers at the Frozen 2 premieres. God bless it.
That's what happens. Like you. No, I won't go on that tangent. I don't want to get political.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man, because we could talk about that off air.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here we go. Goober Brother says we got Batman versus Superman. Can't get much worse, man. I'm telling you, stop knocking Batman versus Superman. No, it's all right. It was a horrible movie. I like it. I'm a Batman fan, and it's not good, but I wanted a solo Ben Affleck Batman movie.
Yeah,
I did. I really did, because I was like, the dude got like jacked up for that role. I'm like, and he looked like the freaking like that robot suit from the old Cobra. Remember the G.I. Joe Cobra suit?
hmm
You know what I'm talking about. I've got it sitting on my desk.
Yeah, the Cobra Commander.
The suit, well, like the robot suit they used to sit in. Yeah, I don't know if it was his suit, but the troopers used to use them.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. The
Yep.
little, exoskeleton thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's kind of like what the bat suit reminded me of in BVS. It was like this hulking, like, you know what I mean? It was just this oversized, but I mean, Ben Affleck was big to begin with for that. But yeah, I wanted a standalone with him, but we never got it. So
Yeah.
actually, I read it. I didn't read the article yet, and I didn't include it tonight, but I'm going to do a video on it. They're having issues with Robert Pattinson not being able to bulk up for the role of Batman.
Does Batman really need to be, bulked up like, say, Captain America or anything like that, though?
No, he doesn't. I mean, look at Michael Keaton, pulled that off perfectly,
Yeah.
and he wasn't that big. I mean, then you had George Clooney. I mean, George Clooney's not a big guy. Val Kilmer, I mean, I guess back then he was decent size. Christian Bale's not really that big.
He was cut, but he wasn't big.
Yeah. And so he slimmed down.
Yeah, there's a difference between like if they are having trouble with him getting cut and like putting on a little bit of bulk versus like, if he has like spaghetti arms and they can't get him to put on muscle, that's a problem. But if he looks like a normal dude and they're wanting to have like Hulk proportions, then that's a bigger problem, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just, man, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really am.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. It's, for every good thing I hear something bad. I'm like, they're going to go back to, him doing detective work and the like. And it's like, okay, cool. But then they talk about, what did he say? Batman isn't a hero or something? Is that what he was saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. They take one step forward, one step back, and their casting isn't so great at the moment. But they're casting like good actors for the roles, or good actors in the roles, just not the best actors for the role, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
I just, I'm sorry. I just got an email from StreamYard and they are putting a monthly cap on the free plan, which I'm using right now.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So you'll only be able to live stream 20 hours a month without getting a paid plan.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
Yep.
Because I remember we were streaming a while back and I was like, hey, just so you guys know, and I read the fine print, like, they were putting parameters on it then. Like, it used to be you could have 20 people, and then all of a sudden you could only have 6, and then it started to pick up. So, and I think they're only doing that because they realized, Google Hangouts is gone, so let's capitalize on this.
Yeah.
That's called price gouging.
Oh, yeah. So I will be hopefully in the new year, I will be doing a paid plan for this because I don't want to cut my content, my live streaming back simply because I, have dealings with StreamYard and I'm using the free plan. Greetings, Darth Tico. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Darth Tico.
Hail Darth Tico. If you guys are in the chat right now, be sure to bitch slap that like button for me. Yes, Darth Tico, they are bastards. Let's see what Raiders says. It's supposed to drop down to 41 degrees tonight. Well, it was actually, we had a heat wave here today. It was 50 degrees. I was out leaf blowing. I got almost, and it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so I'm going to do all my leaves tomorrow. Finish that up. But yeah, those bastards. Yes, they are bastards, Darth Tico. They are indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of slide on over to main topic number 1, which is Star Wars. And Colin Trevorrow speaks on Palpatine's involvement in Episode 9. Got this little article from Collider. I'm going to screen share it. We'll go through a little bit of it. I'm not necessarily going to read the whole thing because I'm sure we're aware of what's going on. We can just have a discussion about it, cover the bullet points, close these stupid ads down, but it is Collider, so I've kind of come to expect it. Let's see here. There we go. Get another one. Emperor Palpatine was not in Colin Trevorrow's version of The Rise of Skywalker. This article is 3 days old in YouTube time. That's a million years. But I took the weekend off. I was busy. And I wanted to talk about this tonight because of the statements that Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams had made, saying that Palpatine they would always plan on bringing him back.
That is a bold-faced lie, and not the first one that she's told in the last week.
Nope. And then the director, and this is the problem. You fire these directors, and they already know what's going on, obviously, and you fire him, and then you try to lie, and like out of spite, he's not going to come back and contradict your statement with the truth. I mean,
right.
She has it coming. That's why she's Darth Kennedy, the not so wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she. It's. Come back to me, macking me.
Macking me. This is by Adam Chitwood. Adam Chitty Bang Bang. Let's see. One of the big questions regarding Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, aside from will it be good, Jesus, is certainly how J.J. Abrams' take on the story differs from Colin Trevorrow's take on the same movie. Indeed, Trevorrow was the first filmmaker hired to tackle Star Wars 9, coming on board way back in 2015 on the heels of launching Jurassic World. Trevorrow worked with his frequent collaborator, Derek Connolly, to write the script, but after a couple of years in the project, word surfaced the script was in trouble in 2017. Well, that was the same year that you released The Last Dumpster Fire, so there was a lot of blood in the water back then, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
At which point, Lucasfilm brought on Jack Thorne to perform a rewrite. That didn't go very far, as a month later, Trevorrow departed the project entirely over creative differences, at which Lucasfilm asked Abrams if he considered taking over the film. There's so many talented people out there, and you go to this hack, Jar Jar Abrams. I mean, that's your first instinct. I mean, Disney they got all the money, and they have all the dough, and they go, and it's like, can they not spot a grift? Like I feel like I'm saying that word a lot, but I feel like it's relevant in the zeitgeist right now because of the way that people like J.J. Abrams handle themselves. That's basically what he's done to these studios.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what I think. KK said, "I'm comfortable with him."
Yeah, it was something to that effect. Yeah, and it was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah. Well, who was it? Was it you guys? Someone did a video recently where she basically admitted the fact that she inserted Rey into Episode 7, like it was her idea. And I think that the fact that JJ was willing to go along with whatever she wanted makes her, quote, comfortable. So.
Oh, yeah, he's got no problem bending the knee to, Queen Kathy.
Yeah, I think makes me comfortable as code for does what I want.
Yep. That's basically it, too. I mean, let's see. Abrams brought on Oscar-winning Argo screenwriter Chris Terrio to co-write that would become The Rise of Skywalker. And at that time, those involved seemed to indicate they were starting from scratch. However, we recently learned that Trevorrow and Connolly have earned a story by credit following the WGA arbitration of the Writers Guild of America, meaning at least some sort of vestige of their plans for Star Wars 9 remains in Abrams' film. As for what Trevorrow's version of Star Wars 9 was, the filmmaker isn't quite keen on saying just yet, but in an interview with Empire, he did reveal one fascinating detail. Emperor Palpatine was not, and I'm going to highlight this, Emperor Palpatine was not in his script. I don't know what's highlighting everything there, but there it is. He was not in the script. Here's the quote from Trevorrow. Bringing back the Emperor was an idea JJ brought to the table when he came on board, Trevorrow says. It's honestly something I never considered. I commend him for it. That was a tough story to unlock, and he found the key. I don't I don't know.
That sounds like Hollywood speak to me.
Yeah, that's throwing shade without really throwing shade. It seems like, you know.
What we call a backhanded compliment.
Yep.
It sounds like what he's saying is like, yeah, he wasn't in my script, and because he didn't need to be, but they found a way to shoehorn him in there. So.
Yeah. It's honestly something I never considered because I'm not a fucking hack. You just add that at the end because that's what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The return of the Emperor caught many fans off guard, but Abrams has been driving home the point that Rise of Skywalker will serve as an endpoint, not just to his sequel trilogy, this sequel trilogy, but to the entire Skywalker saga as a whole. So it appears as though Palpatine figures significantly into how he plans to tie all 9 movies together. While Trevorrow tells Empire he's happy that fans will get to see some of his and Conley's idea, he's not ready to spill RE what his take on episode 9 was. That's not my place, especially right now, says Trevorrow. I know how hard this crew has worked over the past 2 years. A lot of them are working with us now on Jurassic. I want to support them as they put this film out into the world. In the end, I'm just proud to have my name in space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oy vey. So, I mean, we can stop with the article there. I think that it's just God, like, yeah. I wish Trevorrow would just openly thrown shade at him, been like, yeah, dude, you're really just doing this because you don't know what else to do. You're a hack. You just come in, ruin franchises, and leave. Somehow fail upwards. I don't, and I mean, The Force Awakens was, one of the highest grossing movies, worldwide of all time. So, I mean, I'm saying fail upward by, just fan satisfaction, not necessarily financial satisfaction, because I believe in quality over quantity.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like the rest of the world doesn't feel that way.
No, and that's the problem is, people are just too willing. Like I said, I'm going to go see this for, it's personal reasons, but also it'll give me something to review for the channel. I'll be able to talk about it because it'll be ultra relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't want, I wasn't planning on it. If it wouldn't be for the fact that I'm taking my mom to see it, I would not go watch this at all. I wouldn't. I have no desire to see this movie because I know I'm probably going to get scolded in the theater by somebody for laughing or something when it's not funny because it's probably just going to be shit. And I mean,
ruining this movie for everybody here. Why are you laughing?
I'll be like, no, that was Ryan Johnson that did that. That was Kathleen Kennedy that did that. But let's see what Darth Tico says. It's all PR spin bullcrap. Yeah, absolutely. They, these people out here, they stab you in the back with one hand while they're jerking you off with the other. It seems like.
Mm-hmm. I feel like. So we've talked a little bit about how being a nerd is cool now when it wasn't, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the normies jump on the Star Wars bandwagon because they're like, oh, being a nerd is cool, so I'm going to go see Star Wars, #nerd.
Yep.
And they just want to be part of the zeitgeist, part of what's currently, quote, in, and that's why these things are making money. It has nothing to do with people wanting to see them or, fuck. Sorry, my brain shut off for a second. It has nothing to do with, like, people wanting to see the movie or people being genuinely interested. It's like, it's because it's the hip thing now. So if this movie had come out, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, it probably would have panned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, I can't even say that really because episode 1 came out about 15, 20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago.
But, they opened up to huge acclaim. But that's the Star Wars fans were going, not the Gen Pop.
Yep, and that's the problem is you've got. It's not a problem that people want to go see the movie, the normies. I don't want to exclude the normies in this.
Right.
But at the same time, if we're trying to, hurt them and hurt Disney in the wallet, the movie making $1 billion isn't really proven that it's a failure, you know, or that it's not loved or something like that, because people just blindly throw money at a label and not look at the individual quality of the product. That's the problem.
Well, it's kind of like it's like, and you can appreciate this, I'm sure, with your wrestling background and sports background. They're winning the box office by TKO.
Yep.
Like, it's not a knockout, but technically it is, so they win.
Yep.
They're like, that's good enough, and then they laugh all the way to the bank.
Mm-hmm. And that was like whatchamacall, The Last Jedi. It made what, 800 million less than The Force Awakens, but yet they still touted that it, of course, crossed $1 billion.
Right. Even though it made almost less. What is it? Didn't Force Awakens make almost 2 million or 2 billion?
I believe it was just over.
Yeah. So it's like you made almost less than half.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. So speaking of that, Joker might actually pass Aquaman for the like highest grossing DC movie. So yeah, and Joker is, that's, you know, the $1 billion movie. It seems like everybody's, that $1 billion is the earmark for you know, success. But like I said, I look at it like it's got to be a quality product, not just, you know, you're putting out all these movies. I don't want to see 10 bad movies. I'll take one good movie over 10 bad. Well, it depends on how bad they are and what kind of bad they are, because I do like bad movies too. So yeah. Let's see.
There's a time and place for bad movies, like unintentionally bad movies that just they're so bad they're good. But
yeah. Let's see. So Palpatine being involved in this movie. Have you, some of the spoilers say like spoiler alert for The Rise of Skywalker. If you care, probably nobody does. I'm listening to you know, spoilers because I don't care. I want to know what's going to happen so I can prepare myself. Let's see. Darth Tico made almost $1 billion less than The Force Awakens. That's talking about Last Jedi. Okay. That's all right. Yeah, definitely. That was the much more, well, the second week drop kicked that movie's ass. That's what it was, because the word of mouth got out. People were disgusted after watching that shit show. So
yeah. Well, it's almost as if the half of the people that Rian Johnson didn't want to like the movie didn't like it, didn't go see it a second time.
But then we were man babies for saying that we didn't like it when he told us we weren't going to like it.
Right.
Oh, so Palpatine's involvement in Episode 9. I mean, I guess how does it affect the overall Star Wars mythos? Not, I guess, like it would be like retroactively, because they're trying to say that he's a clone in Return of the Jedi now, and you know, so basically, so Rey can be the one that kills him.
Right. So Rey can be the chosen one.
Yeah. Oh, it hurts my brain.
It's essentially doing a full reboot without rebooting it, because in the legal work they were told they could not edit or redo the original trilogy, the original 6 films. They couldn't like remake them in any way. Yep. And so they're like, all right, bet we'll just do a soft reboot. It's like kind of, you know, putting a napkin over a fucking piece of trash in the kitchen and trying to say like you weren't there. But they, God, yeah. Talking about it makes my brain hurt.
I'm telling you, man. It's yep. There you go, Raiders. Cringe deflector activated. You're gonna need it. So, oh God, like this whole Wayfinder thing. This is the MacGuffin for this movie, and it's kind of funny that they're talking about that, you know, the Wayfinder and all that, because the spoilers I have for the movie we're going to talk about during MCU news, you know, Black Widow, involves a kind of a MacGuffin as well, which is I heard these and I'm like, oh God, like I really want to see that movie still, but it's just the spoilers we'll talk about that in a little bit. But so the Star Wars spoilers are, you know, they're kind of, I don't know. Have you heard some of them?
For Black Widow
Or no,
or
episode 9.
oh, yeah, I've heard probably more spoilers for that movie than any movie I've ever heard of, like seen before. Like I've heard basically enough different spoilers to where I've heard like 8 different versions of the movie.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's if they just finish shooting it, this movie is going to be. Can you imagine the editing job you would have to do on that?
I feel bad for all those fucking cubicle farm workers right now cranking out those special effects to get this movie done in time.
Yep.
I'm only hoping that there's like, I think it was Ghost Rider 2 had like some really bad CGI in it that was like a not a glitch, but it was like a mess up where like it cut to green screen for like half a second or something like that. I think it was Ghost Rider 2, but there was some movie that came out probably 10 years ago that would have the production was so rushed on it that at some point it noticeably cut like all the green screen shit just disappeared and all you saw was the green screen and then it went back to normal for like it was like maybe a second and a half.
Oh God!
See, I'm hoping that happens.
I've never seen the second Ghost Rider movie. I saw the first one, but that came out. God, I don't even remember when that came out.
2009, I think.
I want to say I saw that one. Let's see, Flarex. Does that? Oh, every spoiler. Groove says every spoiler sucks more than the last one, and Flarex says, "Does that not ruin the meaning of spoiler? Have to change it to justification for not watching." Yeah, it's God, yeah. These, like I said, Well, we talked about it earlier. I said that one of the actors, the main actors, left their script in a hotel room. Hotel workers sold it put it for sale on eBay, and one of the studio employees caught it, and they actually bought it back before it could be circulated and torn apart on the internet. Can you imagine if like one of the YouTubers got a hold of a script for that movie?
Oh man, that would be. I wonder what the course of action would be if they would be like, oh shit, the entire thing just got out. We need to reshoot the entire film in 3 weeks.
They would be doing it with action figures and stop motion.
Yeah, they'd be doing it with. Sorry, okay. The dog doesn't like it either. They'd be doing it like I do with the fucking turning on the camera with Rose Tico and Bogan.
That would be more interesting than anything they could come up with. Yeah. Oh, Flarex says I vote Doomcock. Well, Doomcock's here right now. Greetings, Dominions and Doomintites. I'm not doing my whole Doomcock thing tonight. I would vote for Doomcock.
Yeah. I feel like that hotel worker had a big opportunity to just make copies of it and sell multiple copies on eBay.
Yeah, like why would you try to sell the original? Like, don't tell me you're not around a Kinko's or something.
Yeah, like make 10 copies of it and then sell it because that's I don't know. That seems like bad business to not do that.
Yeah, like what the hell? What the hell kind of thief are you?
Yeah,
I mean, there's literally you could make a ton of money. I mean, you could make more off one script for The Rise of Skywalker than you will in a year working at the hotel.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's just yeah. I would have liked it. Okay, so picture if you will. I'm going to my Rod Serling. Picture if you will, a world where I get a hold of the Star Wars Episode 9 script, 123 subscriber YouTube channel, does a live reading and reenacts the entire Rise of Skywalker with the cast of The Place to Be reviews. I would have a million
subs overnight.
I would have 1 million subs overnight. That would be, and then I would probably get sued by Disney.
Oh, probably. I mean, is it? How would copyright work on that since it's not been released yet?
I don't know. I just changed the names of the characters.
True.
I just say this is
like, you gotta change it 25%.
That's it. Just 25%. So instead of, like you said, instead of Ray, I just call her like, I don't know, like
Beam.
Yeah, I mean, just stupid stuff like that. Like Poe would be like Doe, Finn would be like Jin, or so. You know what I mean? Just like
Jim.
just a little tweak to it. But all the dialogue would be the same. And can you? I would tweet at Chris Terrio and be like, "Hey, do you want in on this? Do you want in on this? You want to do some rewrites for me, bud?" Not Chris Terrio, Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Colin, guess what I got? He'd be like, who the hell are you? I'd be like, I don't know, Jack. Who are you? And what are you doing in my kitchen? He'd be like, I'm just here trying to get some pork chop and chunky. Tastes real good. Won't make your bathroom smell funky.
I'll be interested to see what happens after this movie comes out. Like, because people are not going to like it, especially if they were like, oh, that was a clone, and Darth Vader's whole story arc was nothing because Rey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really interested to see how much shoveling Disney does to be like, oh, most of this was Colin Trevorrow's script and it wasn't ours.
Yep.
And then just him trying to defend himself against all the mouths at Disney.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because you'll have all the Disney shills attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be all his fault. And that's the thing I hate about Disney is they try to act like they're, you know, this family friendly. You're just a faceless corporation that is just driven by the profit engine, which that's okay. That's capitalism. That's what makes the world go round. Money makes the world go round. But you just admit it, okay? And I would be better with it if they're like, we want money. We want to make money. That's our goal.
Money.
just come out and say it, okay? Like, you know, I mean, this is funny. I say here and I knock Disney, but like right before I went to, you know, my kid goes to bed, we're sitting here watching, you know, shows on Disney Junior with him and shit like that. But like I said, I'm not going to deprive my kid of something like that, you know, over my, you know, my beliefs. You know, I don't roll like that. That's the beauty of having that, you know, that self-awareness of your beliefs and not trying to, you know, force people to think the way you do. That's how sycophants are created. We don't want that.
But that's why you'll never have a blue check mark, Pete.
You know what? I guess I'm all right. Speaking of blue check marks, I shared a tweet with you. I tweet that from my personal account when I do stuff like that, because I'm not going to use the show account. I think I almost did the other day, but I didn't realize which Twitter account I was on, because I very rarely do I ever open the Twitter app on my phone, and you know, occasionally I'll get on there and like I said, I tweet the videos out for the show and stuff like that. But I'm sitting here listening to all these idiots, and thank you Data Racer 117 for his work combing the filth on Twitter and getting all those images that basically like all us YouTubers use in our videos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I showed these tweets, you know, and it's just like these people, you know, like Anita Sarkeesian is, you know, crying about the female. I get, you know, no females in the minute. I guarantee you she's never seen that fucking show.
No.
I guarantee you she never sat through a whole episode of it. She looked at Twitter. She took her pieces of other people's tweets, and then she started firing off tweets because she is just trying to keep herself relevant.
Mm-hmm. She's notoriously like one of those people that says, "Pay me for my opinion."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we were talking about this earlier, where I equated it to war profiteering.
Yep. Because
she's banking her entire career off the suffering of other people. And it's like, okay, so what's your end game? It's like who was it? I think it was the ASPCA or the Humane Society or something got in a heap of trouble for using some of the animals in their videos. Like they purposely seek out, like, you know, animals that are on the streets or whatever to film, and then they don't actually help them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's kind of the same thing. Like she's seeking out all these places of what she considers to be oppression, whether or not it exists there or not, but then tries to shine a spotlight on it. And it's like, okay, but what are you doing about it?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. That's it.
It's like the meme that I see that floats around. It's like, imagine Facebook and Instagram disappear overnight, and all of a sudden you're not an activist anymore.
Yeah, can you imagine people like her and Chloe Zhao having to get real jobs?
Yeah.
Was that her name? Chloe Zhao. That she's another one of those like grifters. She's a game developer that basically took all that money and did nothing.
Zoe Quinn.
Zoe Quinn, that's her name. Zoe Quinn.
Yeah.
When I say Chloe Zhao, I don't even know. She's a director. Chloe
Mm.
Zhao is the one that's directing the Eternals. Yeah, Zoe Quinn.
Yeah, she's a grifter among other things, but I won't get into that.
Yeah. We both know, and
There's
I'm sure everybody,
comics on that.
everybody listening knows. Hey, Ray's double dong. It's Chris Wicks. Hail, Chris Wicks.
Hello, Chris.
Thank you for joining us. Yep, Raiders said Zoe Quinn. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We got that. We won't talk about those little heifers.
They're on the same playing field as Instagram models and subscribe to my premium Snapchat girls.
Yeah.
Social media goes away and they have to get a real fucking job where they have to work with their hands.
Yep. Good luck with that, ladies. They ain't gonna. Yeah, they don't know what that is.
There was one, I don't remember her name, but her Instagram account got deleted for some reason. She violated some term of agreement or something or other. And so she went on Twitch or went on Snapchat, went on somewhere and was full snot bubble crying her eyes out because her Instagram got deleted. And she was like, I don't have any marketable skills. I've never had a real job. And I'm like, I can't tell.
Jesus Christ. You know, and what was that video? The first one you sent me, the Kappa video, was that retro blasting?
Yeah.
Okay. So he made the point about people saying that if you rely on YouTube for an income, you need to get a real job. Well, this is, and I agree with his point, because like he said, it's a new world, job, basically. It's that new economy type job, is this, kind of online stuff. So it's like you have to adapt to the times, but at the same time, you should still have some real world, and most of us do have those real world skills. But people like that, like you, that woman you described, it's like that's pathetic, and that's lazy, and she doesn't want to work.
Yeah, that's the key difference. Is so YouTube, as a content creator, there's always going to be something to talk about. Like for me, for example, toys they're always going to come out. There's always going to be some IP with a new toy for me to talk about, whether it becomes popular or not, or whatever. These quote unquote models, which are basically cam girls, really.
Yep. Yes.
Honey, in about 10 years, you're not going to look the same.
Yep.
Sorry, and that's the same can be said in the adult side of the film industry. Like that's why their shelf life is so short, because they're constantly got newer ones showing up. So
yeah, you don't want to end up Stormy Daniels.
No.
But yeah, no, completely, man. It is, and it's like I laugh, like I said, these girls, I'm like, you just because you stick your ass out in a mirror and take a picture over your shoulder on Instagram doesn't make you a model, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, sorry, I might follow you, I might like that damn picture, but I ain't giving you no money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a damn man at the end of the day, and I mean, men like beautiful women. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to throw any money at you because, well, you're not worth my money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I dealt with that in my hometown, my little podunk hometown, and they'd be like, oh, I'm a model. I'd be like, I can buy the same camera from Walmart right now and take a picture of your cooter, and it's not going to make you a model or me a photographer. It just makes me a creep.
Yep.
But, it's a professional. Okay, well, I can use Photoshop too, darling. Like, Jesus.
There was a girl from the town I live, and she passed away. I want to say a year or two ago, right? Probably about 10. I'd say 10 years younger than me. So she's probably about 28, 29, around that age range, right? Now, before everybody goes calling me a monster for kind of making light of the fact she passed away, she was a porn actress, all right, and got hooked on like all the normal things that porn actresses get hooked on, okay? So when I heard she died, of course, where my mind went. I just started making jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, everybody's looking at me like, how can you say that? I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm like, the fact that she had like 8 phalluses, playing bukkake bingo with her. I'm like, don't feel sorry for you, sweetheart. You chose that profession. You chose that lifestyle. Don't don't expect me to shed some tears for somebody like that. That's like me feeling sorry for John Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dude made more money and slayed more tail than 100 average guys will in their entire life. I mean, yeah, he went out bad, but I mean, you've got to enjoy the ride a little bit. No pun intended. That's what she said.
You ride the carousel long enough, and something's gonna happen to you. So
Right. And this is Star Wars talk, mind you.
right, Star Wars.
I don't even know how the hell we got on this cutaway, but
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Let's see. Let's kind of rein this back in here. As we were talking about episode 9. Okay, so we were talking about Emperor Palpatine being included in episode 9, and before we switched over to late night porn talk,
right. After hours.
After hours. That's going to be the Patreon stuff right there. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be in the works soon. I'm trying to come up with creative enough ways to provide enough content that I deem worthy of me having people give me money for it. I want to make sure that is on point before I even entertain the idea. I've entertained the idea before I even put any wheels in motion, I should say. Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy openly lied about Palpatine's involvement and it being planned along with J.J. Abrams. Will this expedite the process of her leaving Lucasfilm despite her contract extension after Rise of Skywalker kind of settles down?
I really don't think she's in charge of anything anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm pretty sure she's a figurehead at this point. And because there's no way that she could possibly still have her job after all this. Like, if all the spoilers are true, after episode 9 comes out, it's gonna destroy what fan base was left, except for the extreme shilly shills of the Disney camp that are all about, fucking Rey and all that shit. Which I don't know anyone who legitimately I've met a couple who are like, oh, I like those movies. Like one guy I worked with, he's like, oh, I gotta like them because they're Star Wars. I'm like, no, you don't have to. And I said,
no, you don't.
What do you like about the new movies specifically? And he couldn't give me an answer. And you see my point. So
yeah. No, I don't. I don't like that. I just can't give. Like I said, I'm going to throw $7 at him. For this movie. Plus my concessions, and that's it. I'm not buying any toys. I'm not buying. Jesus, I saw the ad, and I've seen these in the store. Those screaming lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
What on God's green earth is that trash? Like. Trey looked at that and was like, I don't like that, Dad, because we weren't even looking at lightsabers, and he was just like, what's that? And he's looking at it, he goes, that doesn't look good. I'm like, no, it doesn't. I was like, and I've got 3-year-old blade builders out there I bought when he was a year old and just set him aside so we could beat the shit out of him, and that's basically what we do.
Outstanding. And those blade builders did not take off like they thought they were going to do.
No, because they made the what are they? The I got him he's got I got him the 2 Obi-Wan blue ones. I've got 2 Vader red ones because he was going to be Darth Maul for Halloween. He ended up being Darth Sidious.
Mm-hmm.
My mom made him a robe and everything, hand sewed him a robe. And he's got who the hell is my cousin got him a goddamn Kylo Ren one and a mask. And so we go out in the yard, the one of them is they're glued together, most of them, because we have used and abused these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pissed I didn't buy it. They had, and they're so cheap, but I didn't care. I just wanted to have. They had one Mace Windu purple one.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have bought the goddamn thing. Like I said, it's it's like a $16 freaking plastic lightsaber, but it's cool because it's Mace Windu's, and I like Mace Windu.
Yeah.
But yeah, the merch is just blech. But so you were talking about Kathleen Kennedy and how you think she's just a figurehead now. Um, and I agree with that because she has been so removed from everything. She's just now kind of starting to make some statements and stuff like that because the movie's getting close to release, whatever. And they're going to trot her out there and, let her do her victory lap before they push her aside. Do you think they're going to go with the Filoni and Favreau and Feige angle and try to turn Star Wars into the MCU moving forward?
I feel like that's what they're gonna do. Is that what I want them to do? I prefer just Filoni and Favreau. I don't need Feige.
Yeah.
Feige needs to focus on the MCU
Yep.
because that's the ship he built, and he needs to either keep it afloat or go down with it. Like, I don't want him jumping ship to Star Wars because then that'll be his excuse for why the MCU goes to trash, and he'll be like, "Oh, well, I was too busy with Star Wars," and
Yeah.
Star Wars starts to nosedive again. Like, "Oh, I was too busy with the MCU." I work with a lot of guys like that that wear many hats at work, and they use each hat to blame the other why they were too busy to work on it. It's like, well, what are you actually working on then? If you're doing both, you need to be able to do both.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. I was when I was a operations manager at the dealership I worked at, and then they gave me the second dealership's inventory, or second Chrysler store's inventory to manage, and go to 3 to 4 auctions a week. I mean, I was, and I had an intern and I had one full-time employee, so we kind of managed. But man, there was a big learning curve there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they put a lot of stuff on me that I had never even thought about doing it. But it's just like, if you like, I'm very OCD, so I like things organized. And so that kind of, when I do buckle into things like that, it kind of helps. So, but I don't know. Feige, I don't really think that he should come over and run it. I was just kind of throwing that name out there because obviously, he gets all the credit for being the architect of the MCU when really it's Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
I mean,
he laid the groundwork for
it. Yeah. I mean, Feige, I'm not gonna take away from Feige, but I mean, Favreau definitely built the foundation with Iron Man.
Yeah. That's like, we could say, we'll say that Feige had like the concept for it.
Yeah.
Like the broad picture, like, oh, I would do all these, do an Avengers movie, but it was definitely Favreau that was like, okay, like, it's like, let's say that Feige is the instructions on how to make top ramen or something. Favreau was the one that was like, okay, I'm going to make this, but let me put, boiled egg in there. Let me put some, some spices, some oregano. Let me, kind of make it my own. And then because of that and the popularity, people were willing to buy into the next movie and buy into the next movie and buy into the next movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did it right too by, giving some origin stories to, Cap and all them, and Iron Man and Thor before they jumped into that Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Whereas DC, on the other hand, not so much.
Yeah, they tried to fucking pull something. I guess they were swinging for the fences on that one.
Yep. And, that really bothers me because I really wish it would have worked out. Because they had a lot of stuff planned like that. If you've ever seen the video, like Midnight's Edge did about like Justice League Mortal and stuff like that. They had a lot of cool concepts. Same thing with like the Spider-Man movies. They got canceled over at Sony before all this MCU stuff. That's what makes me excited about, the Sony side of the Spider-Verse. And we won't comment on what Sony just released that bombed, Charlie's Angels. So that's not a big confidence booster for me for Sony. But that's mostly Elizabeth Banks. So because she wrote, starred, produced, directed, and was the gaffer and the grip and ran craft services on that movie. So I'm sure everybody got food poisoning at least twice too.
Yeah, she had herself a Bart Simpson's moment where the episode where Lisa, I think, was born, and he's walking around the pot and pan going, "I'm the best, I'm the greatest," walking up and down the hallway banging it.
Yep. That's Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah,
That is
certainly
really-
in that movie.
Oh, let's see here. Back to the Star Wars. Okay, so based on the rumored leaked information from Episode 9, they're heavily borrowing from the EU, which they decanonized years ago. Is this fan service or just a pathetic cash grab to you, Sal?
I'm gonna go with cash grab. Like, um, I'm assuming the question was about the EU and them saying that they don't have any books, kind of thing. And it kind of cut out on my end.
Yeah, there's no source material to work with here, is there?
No, none at all.
Jesus.
There's no such thing as source material. Like, oh Jesus.
How is she the president of Lucasfilm?
I feel like she won a contest, and that's how she became the president of Lucasfilm. Like the fucking, what was it, the Department of Agriculture and Idiocracy. He won it out of a contest or something.
There's they do that on Family Guy too when they have the apocalypse episode. It was called The Big Bang. It was in the Y2K thing. So this was from season 1 of 1999, and they have the big explosion and da 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 da, and it's like they're rebuilding society and they're trying to remake all these new rules, and it's like, what? Wait, what? This is all. I just lost my train of thought. I'm thinking about Kathleen Kennedy and no source material here.
Right.
I can't. I just don't understand how you can lie outright and then still like in that kind of role. And
Right.
like Bob Iger's not saying what the fuck is wrong with you. I mean, I understand she's a woman. I know this Me Too, Time's Up bullshit, and believe women. And trust me, I respect women. I do, but this woman is a liar. I mean, plain and simple. Either she's a liar or she's that stupid, and she's made too long of a career to be that stupid. I think she's not the sharpest crayon in the drawer or in the box, but I do believe she has a little bit of street smarts when it comes to stuff.
I feel like she's good at putting spin on shit and getting what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone was talking, or I was talking. I don't know. My brain's pretty well fried after today, but it's something about like she's hit all the wickets. She's done, Indiana Jones. She's done or has her name attached to these different things, so she's able to be like, oh, I've worked on this, worked on that. What have you done, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it's what happens when you ride coattails for too long. They say that some people say that all the success all that she has seen and achieved has been on the shoulders of giants.
Mm-hmm. So. And that's what she's done. She's just used her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Gary or Frank Marshall? Frank Marshall.
Not anymore. It's probably Francis Marshall now or something.
Yeah. But she's just used his name. Like I said, she was just a coffee fetcher.
Mm-hmm.
She was just a coffee fetcher, man. So and now look at her. Look at little Kathy. She's all grown up and ruining Star Wars.
Well, we figured out she's never going to get fired because Disney, despite what we say, is beholden to shareholders more than anyone else. And if they fire Kathleen Kennedy, that means to shareholders that they're willing to listen to people on the internet who have legitimate points, but it would look worse for them on that front. So they'd lose money, they'd lose properties, all that. So they're never going to fire her. But I think they will ask her to ceremoniously step down and say, I just wanted to see Star Wars all the way through. I've done my part. Now it's time to hand the reins on to someone else.
Yep.
But I feel like the smart move at this current juncture, the smart move would be Favreau and Filoni as a tag team leading it, because the ultimate creative power should be left to one person.
Yeah.
And but I feel like they won't do that. They won't go back from, we just, pushed all this Wayman agenda. We just did that. Now we're going to hand the keys back to two men.
Yep.
I don't see them actually doing that. Though they should. I don't see them doing it.
They were talking about that with all this, kerfuffle over the Mandalorian. It's like these people are, freaking out because there's a male lead on the Mandalorian. It's like they got female lead in Rogue One, they had a female lead in the sequel trilogy. Han Solo's girlfriend Kira basically outshined him in Solo.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got all these other ancillary, General Holdo, Vice Admiral Gender Studies. You had all these female characters, and now it's like you have one male lead, and everybody loses their freaking minds on Twitter.
Yep.
And it's like
we've made so much progress, and now we're going back.
One male, you're not allowed to have any male leads anymore, and that's the thing is like he's not. It's not like it's a white dude. Pedro Pascal is not a white guy, so you've still got representation, but is it not good enough for you? Is that what it is?
It's because they're wearing helmets and you can't see the representation.
Yeah, the leader of the frickin' Mandalorians tribe is a damn female who's a badass blacksmith and makes armor and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, but you can't see that she's a woman, so it doesn't count.
I brought that up to Miss Sarkeesian, and I said, they can't take their cover off. They never remove their cover. I said, if you knew anything, you would know that. I'm like, they're not just going to she's not going to take her helmet off and flip her hair, because wouldn't that be like objectifying anyway?
It's not fucking Spider-Man in the MCU, all right? They have an identity to protect.
Yeah. I can see it. Takes the helmet off, and it looks like Captain Marvel out of the comics, like brush cut, looks like a dude. Woof. I showed that to the boy today. I was like, I was looking through videos, and I'm like, there was the one with a thumbnail. I was like, look, buddy. I was like, this is Captain Marvel from the comics, and he goes, I don't like that, Daddy. I'm like, that's my boy. That's my boy. Let's see here. Let's acknowledge the chat for a minute. Let's go back here to Ray's Double Dong. The biggest point that is missing while Lucasfilm continue to abuse the EU is that they are taking away what was special about the EU. The EU kept the fandom alive when there was no Star Wars. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And I can't remember where I heard this, but I heard something about possibly not this movie, but using the Yuzhan Vong eventually, which
about that.
I mean, if it was Filoni and Favreau doing it, how would you feel about that?
I feel like it would be like, people have to realize that no matter what they make, it's not going to be 100% what we want. There's always going to be that give and take. There's going to be something in it that we don't like.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big picture kind of deal. So I'd be okay with it, but I'm cautiously optimistic like I am with the Mandalorian. We're only 3 episodes in, so I could always do a heel turn at any point.
Yep.
But so far, so good.
Yeah, that was, hey, look up. Here it is. It is Fatal J in the house. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Thank you for joining us. Talking a little bit of Star Wars here. Let's see. So, yeah, that Yuzhan Vong, and that would take a lot of world building to set that up. Mm-hmm. That is a massive conflict that saw, the Empire and the Rebellion basically work together.
Yeah, that's not a one-off movie. That's an Avenger style kind of, culmination of movies.
And that's my only apprehension with it is, would they be able to do that in a trilogy? I don't think they would be able to cover that entire thing in a trilogy. I think that would take a trilogy plus a couple spin-off movies almost.
Yeah, probably an ongoing TV series.
Yeah. Because that was a massive conflict, but that was like also where we saw Luke. Luke was really powerful in that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was
too powerful.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. And I haven't read a lot of the EU stuff, but just the research and the videos I've watched and listened to people talk about it, that was like Luke was. Yeah, he was very OP there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Palpatine was too, I guess, in like Dark Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
That's,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying that was kind of a running theme with the EU stuff. So pick up your pitchforks and your torches, but I was never really a fan of EU stuff when I was growing up. And like to me, growing up, the only canon were the 6 movies.
Yeah.
Like I knew books were there, people played video games and all that, but anytime like my friends when Force Unleashed came out, they were playing it, and I was like, Darth Vader didn't have an apprentice. And they're like, no, he does because it's in this game. I'm like, that doesn't count. That's a fucking game.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how much of the EU was officially considered canon. I know Knights of the Old Republic was like given the blessing by George Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know how much beyond that was considered official canon. But when they said that, oh, the EU doesn't count as canon anymore, I was like, it didn't really affect me much. But now in hindsight, having, delved into the EU a little bit, I'm like, some of this is actually really fucking good. Like, they should have just done this.
Mm-hmm.
But on the same token, if they had done the Thrawn trilogy, but they were gonna treat it the way that they treat Star Wars now, I'm glad they didn't touch it.
Is that the books that Timothy Zahn wrote?
Yeah, Heir to the Empire, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Okay, because I saw Flare X and I believe Groove were talking about that. And Raiders Groove right here says that Zahn trilogy would have been amazing if it came out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they had done an adaptation while Harrison and Carrie and all them were still younger,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been great.
I would have loved to seen that the Dark Empire saga kind of play out. That would have been that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
And Thrawn is somebody that I can see them using him eventually, but they'd have to go retroactive and do it because he's been dead for how long? Well,
he shows up. He's in the Rebels cartoon series.
Oh, that's right. See, I haven't seen a lot of Rebels.
Yeah, I never got to finish it, but I watched, I think, the first 2 seasons or something like that. So I'm slowly catching up. I'm rewatching it on Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah. See, I keep forgetting now that I have that's on there, because I never watched it. It wasn't really interesting to me. It wasn't quite Star Wars Resistance bad, but I mean, it had some high points to it that I saw in the few episodes that I got to watch. So didn't seem too bad to me. So that is Star Wars it's still in a state of disarray right now, even with the success of The Mandalorian. Disney's to the point now they're copyright claiming Baby Yoda gifts.
Yeah, which I get it. It is their intellectual property, so they do have the right to say no. We don't want a gift for that.
Yeah.
Now I haven't seen the gift in question, but for all it could have been, something inappropriate regarding the Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to defend them because there are plenty of other gifts of IPs that are just fine.
Yep.
So that's a little like, really? You're going to be a bad sport about that? But,
yeah, that's kind of petty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking petty.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I was like, what? You really have to mess with people over a freaking gift? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. But that's Disney. What are they going to do? So that is about all the Star Wars talk we have for this evening. I'm sure we'll have more coming up in the next couple weeks as we get ever so much closer to the rise of Soy Walker's release here. Episode Plan 9 from Outer Space.
I just want it to be January 1st already.
I know.
Just to put it in perspective, people say that 2019 is gone by quickly. Tide Pods were a thing in February of this year.
Oh.
And that feels like ages ago.
Yeah, it does too. It really does. And
yeah.
God, that's like that whole 10-year challenge thing. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't need the FBI to have any more information. They can data mine on me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anyway. But I mean,
When people share those are like, oh, what's your blah 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 name? You pick the first letter of your name and the last letter of your mom's maiden name or some shit like that. It's like that's how they get information from you. They're like,
yeah.
they piece it together using those fucking things.
How do you think they get all those targeted ads that show up on your fucking phone miraculously after you're talking about something, or you click on one thing? It's data mining. It's all that little shit and those cookies that these websites collect.
Yeah.
So that's been Tech Talk with Pete and Sal. Now on to main topic number 2, MCU news.
Leo Red, hello, welcome.
Oh, Leo Red's in the chat. What's up? Thank you for joining us this evening. Be sure to slap the shit out that like button. Just getting off work. I'm so late. That's all right. You can catch it on the playback. We've had a great show so far. I'm joined by Salvador this evening. If you're not a subscriber, go over and subscribe to 2 Cents Toys. Do it. Do it now.
Yeah, speaking of data mining and toy channels and all that, one more quick thing about COPPA before we get that topic all together. I like that YouTube content creators are the ones being punished when it was YouTube that was collecting data on children. It wasn't like my channel, your channel. We weren't collecting data, YouTube was, but we're the ones that have to deal with the repercussions.
Yep, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the content creators that YouTube wants to generalize everything like this.
Yeah.
Because it's very like that video there, like the way YouTube is defining everything, it's very vague.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
these a lot of vague terms, so that way they can protect themselves. But, right.
Yeah, that's it's going to be a lot to deal with, and it's not something that I wanted to deal with right off the. My channel is less than a year old, and I was like, God bless it. Why does this always happen?
Yeah.
I do have all my videos are on BitChute too, so.
Is it the Wasted West staple?
Me and my stapler, my red stapler. Have you seen it? It was making Etep. It was using Etep wrong, and it was saying racist things.
No, put it down.
I could put strychnine in the guacamole.
Oh, what's up, Leo Red? Thank you for joining us. Hey, it's all right that you're late. You're fashionably late. That's all right. We're going to start out with some MCU news. This quick little article over here on CBR about Mark Ruffalo wanting to shoot a Hulk versus Wolverine movie. Now, those of us who, follow the MCU know that the Hulk rights right now are owned by Universal. They can't make a solo Hulk movie. They haven't made a solo Hulk movie since Edward Norton's in 2008. That came out right before Iron Man, I think it was. So this would have to be under the banner of a Wolverine film, and I don't think that they're gonna jump right into doing a Hulk versus Wolverine movie because they're still trying to recast Wolverine. And rumors swirling around that they offered it back to Hugh Jackman. I mean, would I like to see Hugh Jackman come back and play Wolverine, even at I don't know, he's almost 50? Yeah, absolutely, because he's in better shape than most guys that are half his fucking age. And Hugh Jackman is an amazing actor. The man he's a gift and he's a talent. And his portrayal of Wolverine for the better part of 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Through the X.
2000, I think, was when the first one came out.
I do believe so, and yeah, he played Wolverine in the 2018. Logan came out in 2018, right? I think it was.
Yes, I would say 20. Yeah, it was 2018.
So 18 years he has invested in Wolverine, and if we could get even a couple more movies out of him, I would be fine with that. I'm not gonna lie, and not just for nostalgia's sake, but he is Wolverine. It's like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. You're never going to recast Iron Man. You can't. It's impossible.
They'll try.
They'll
bleed that money pig dry.
They will. That's what scares me. And they're already talking about Riri Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about Riri, and they mentioned what's his name, Harley Keener is Iron Lad, which I would be all right with Iron Lad because he already has a pre-existing relationship with Tony, and he showed up in Endgame. We've never had an interaction between Tony and Riri. Nothing,
Right.
and you can't retcon that to fucking. I'm sorry, don't do that. Don't do another Captain Marvel and retcon everything about the MCU and make it like the Avengers were named after her when it's not. Captain America is the first Avenger. He is, and he always will be the first Avenger.
Well, you know what's going to happen is they're not going to be able to find an actor to play Wolverine, so they're just going to use X-23 instead.
Yeah, and they'll probably cast that. They'll bring in what's her name from Terminator: Dark Fate, Natalie Reyes, to be X-23, or Mackenzie Davis with her Justin Bieber haircut.
Hell yeah.
Mark Ruffalo wants to shoot Hulk vs. Wolverine. This came out today by Sundi Rose. While Avengers Endgame seemingly brought the Hulk story to a close, actor Mark Ruffalo thinks there could be more in store for the Green Goliath. At Tokyo Comic-Con, Ruffalo discussed meeting with Marvel Studios president and Marvel chief creative officer Kevin Feige and added that he would really like to see a Hulk-Wolverine matchup on the big screen. Although the matchup might seem surprising to MCU fans, they have, in fact, crossed paths numerous times in the comics. Yes, they have. In fact, Wolverine fought the Hulk and Wendigo in his first appearance in Len Wein, Roy Thomas, and John Romita Sr. What's that?
John Romita Sr. and Len Wein.
Wein, okay. I wasn't sure how to pronounce that. The Incredible Hulk 181 in 1974. While the character is most closely associated with the X-Men, a crossover of this caliber could prove lucrative for fans of both franchises. Yeah, I think that would make probably a ton of money. I mean, if it was done right. See, but Ruffalo to me is not, I don't know.
He's already smart Hulk. Like the whole dynamic wouldn't work because Alpha Flight or Department H at the time dispatched Wolverine to take care of the Hulk because the Hulk was a mindless monster rampaging through the Canadian wilderness.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to get Soy Hulk's not gonna fill that role because they showed him in Endgame and he was hesitant to smash stuff. He was all embarrassed about it. It's like, yeah, this is not the Hulk. Like I said, that's fucking Soy Hulk right there.
Yeah, and then they further neutered him by roding one of his arms.
Yep. That was their opening to bring in She-Hulk. Jennifer Walters. And like I said, I think it was last week, the week before, they're going to bring in Amadeus Cho now.
Of course.
So, Dr. Cho, that one character who had like 3 scenes in Age of Ultron. Well, she had a son, Amadeus, and he's a Hulk too. I'm a Hulk, you're a Hulk. Aren't we all Hulks? I mean,
I'm a Hulk, you're a Hulk. We're all Hulks, yeah.
Oh God, it's as bad as it's getting as bad as the Flash. Everybody's a fucking metahuman in the Flash. Like everybody has powers. So it's like everybody's a Hulk now. You got the Hulk family here. Ugh, it's like just these people just need to take a step back. And like I understand, characters age and actors age, and if you don't want to recast them, it makes sense. But I mean, don't try to do it a ham-fisted fashion with some character who has now granted Amadeus Cho has been around since 2005, which is longer than Miss Marvel, who has only been around since 2014 or 15, and they're already we'll talk about her briefly in a moment because they're already pushing her onto Disney Plus. So that whole forced diversity, that non-organic diversity that's not going to stop yet. We may be winning some battles in the culture war, but it's far from over right now. Let's see. Directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, Avengers Endgame stars Robert Downey. Oh, what the hell? This isn't even part of the article. This is just a summary. This just gives you who starred as who in fucking Endgame. We all know that. We've all seen the movie. Okay, so like I said, this is a short little blurb here, but I want to throw it in with the MCU news because it's been something that's kind of, like I said, I think it'd be kind of cool, but with, like you said, with Hulk the way he is now, we don't need to see Soy Hulk with one arm versus Wolverine. I mean, it's just no. Let's see. Leo Red says X-23 versus Riri. Oh my god. Oh, that's like a woke bat. If you throw I don't know who else in there. Throw Valkyrie and Catpan Mediocre in there, and you've got the woke fatal four way.
Yeah, that's X-23 isn't really that bad of a character.
No, X-23 isn't.
They would turn her into one.
Yep.
So.
Yep. She was fine in Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was a badass. Like I dug the character. I was like, this is kind of this is cool. And then Marvel though they can they'll make money. They'll always make money because people just throw money at that logo. But look at Captain Marvel. Did it really make $1 billion? There's a lot of shade there. So they. But they're just clinging to that whole diversity thing, which, like I said, diversity is fine. No issue with diversity. The issue is the forced, for the sake, when you put box checking ahead of storytelling and character development, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. That's when you're doing it wrong. And like I said, there's no issue with diversity as long as it makes sense to the story and it drives the story. It doesn't, just exist to be diverse. So that's my soapbox. All right. So this I'm going to give you right now. We're going to move on to point 2 in the MCU news as we're kind of clipping along here, running a little bit longer than I wanted to, but that's okay. We're still under the time yet where I want to be. Just kind of trying to keep the show flowing and keep it tight for the listeners. So if you guys are enjoying it, thank you. I appreciate everybody joining us. Be sure to leave a like. Everybody's commenting in the chat. I love it. So let's move on here. This is Black Widow movie alleged plot leaks from 4chan and Reddit. This has been making the rounds on YouTube. So I figured if anybody is afraid of Black Widow spoilers, I don't want you guys to leave, but I'm going to do some spoilers here, and we'll talk about these because there's quite a list here. We can just kind of jet through some of these. Start out at the top. Your last chance to leave right here. Let's see. Wait. Yeah, he is dead, but lots of stories that can be done before they retcon him. Oh, he's talking. Okay, he's talking to Flare X. All right. Black Widow will start right after Civil War. It fits into the MCU perfectly, based on chronological rewatchability. So they've retconned it, is what they're saying. I love when they try to church things up. Just say you retconned it. That's okay because Natasha Romanoff was, one of the original Avengers. I'm all right with that, man. I love ScarJo's character. My damn dog is named Natalia, after Black Widow. So I dig the character. Let's see. Black Widow ties into Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, and that is based on. Hang on a second here. If you can hear that in the background, Fat Boy wants to come in the office. Yeah, the cat sounds like a dog banging at the door. So let's see. Black Widow ties into Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I believe that is going to be where they signed the
Sokovia Accords.
Yep, the Sokovia Accords or something. Or it's a part of their plea deal at the end, where Scott Lang and them and Hawkeye and her take their deal. So I think they're going to work that angle. Rachel Weisz plays Iron Maiden, and she is the main villain of the movie. I guess her suit's pretty cool too. Taskmaster is more of just a badass side character. It says Taskmaster dies at the end. He's killed by Yelena Belova, but also he was double crossing Black Widow the entire movie, working both with and against her and Yelena. And then it says Taskmaster is back and alive in a post-credit scene, working with Yelena Belova to con Nat out of Fox Charge, which is the spy MacGuffin they'll be looking for the entirety of the movie. Nat wants Fox Charge so she can disappear after she's been burned following the events of Infinity War. But she ends up giving it to Yelena Belova instead of using it on herself. So there's your MacGuffin for the movie.
No mention of Red Guardian.
No, not yet. Not in they didn't mention him in these spoilers, but they did talk about him being in the movie, I believe.
Okay. I was like, because he was like one of the first people that they announced for the new cast was David Harbour playing Red Guardian.
Yeah, they didn't mention me in the spoilers, but yeah, I know that character was in the movie. Like I said, it's I'm not familiar with the character really at all.
Okay.
I just recall the name.
Yeah. So my speculation, which I've gone on record as saying before, my speculation was going to be that, oh, you know, that's how it's going to take. I thought it was going to take place like way in the past, like when she was first, you know, becoming Black Widow.
Yeah.
Red Guardian was going to be kind of a not a washed up superhero, but like older, past his prime kind of deal, and he was going to be because he is Russia's version of Captain America, basically.
Okay.
And so it was going to kind of out of shape a little bit, but he was going to be kind of training them a little bit. Or at least David was going to be training them. And then Taskmaster shows up, right? And he's the bad guy. She has to fight Taskmaster, and Taskmaster knows all of her moves. Somehow,
Yep.
his whole gimmick is that he can watch or he can fight someone one time, and then he's mastered their fighting abilities, so he can fight them and beat them the second time.
Yes.
And so I thought it was going to be like, oh, she's going to, you know, there's going to be some signature move or something that only her and Red Guardian would know, but he knows how to counter it. You find out that Taskmaster's Red Guardian, and that the original Red Guardian had been killed a long time ago and had been replaced by Taskmaster. So he'd been living a dual life the whole time, that whole espionage thing. But
well,
my idea sucks. I guess that's fine.
No. If you go back to what I said about him double crossing them the entire movie, working both with and against them, that could still come into play.
That's true.
You said they cast somebody else to play the Red Guardian, but Taskmaster apparently plays two roles kind of in this, so they could do something like that. So it says it has lots of flashbacks to Nat's past, Red Room stuff, lots of stuff with her, Lena, Melina, and Lexi, and they all have issues from their past that kind of bind them together. Obviously, their Red Room experience. Them trying to stop Melina from reactivating the Black Widow program drives the plot and stop her from hurting more women. So this one of the gals is trying to reactivate the Black Widow program. They're going to stop her. Nat wants Fox charge, so her, Cap, and Falcon will be impossible to track.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about at that point. That's when they were the Secret Avengers.
Right.
Let's see. And the last one is I got a couple more here. It's very dark and John Wick-esque, and it's passing the torch to Yelena Belova, isn't that Frances Pugh that's playing her? I believe that's her name.
So we got Frances Pugh and Imogen Toots tonight.
Pugh and Toots.
I'm sorry, Toots.
Poots. I said Toots. Poots. Oh God, I'm tired.
My brain, after about like 5 in the evening, my brain just kind of shut off.
I know I'm on cruise control right now too. We're getting there though. We're getting there. We're moving along. Let's see. The post-credit scene has Thunderbolt Ross possibly assembling the Thunderbolts, which Belova is rumored to join. I like that idea. I've been waiting, and Groove and I were talking about a Thunderbolts movie months and months ago. About it would make sense for them to do that because they've kept General Ross around so long, and it would just be really cool to use that floating prison. Like I said, I wanted it to be Dr. Doom to kind of come in and do something with it, but maybe Ross was locked up for some reason. But I like the idea of the Thunderbolts.
I do. I'll reiterate what I said a few nights ago, though. I just don't see William Hurt being a Red Hulk.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing with all the mocap tech they can do is you could have like Sean Gunn does for the Guardians. You have Sean Gunn or Andy Serkis do the mocap, and you just have Hurt do the the regular stuff.
Right.
So I mean they've got to have a plan for him, or they wouldn't keep having him make appearances.
Yeah, I still say Stephen Lang would have been a better.
you're not going to get any argument from me out of that, because that dude, like I said, he's been a badass in everything I've seen him in, and I think he would play that role perfectly. Okay, and the last one we have is Hawkeye will make an appearance in a cameo scene. So that was kind of expected, though, and
That would be him in handcuffs being led away from his residence.
probably they said something about that's how they're gonna, they're gonna do that. Him and because what, Scott Lang was on house arrest, during so they're gonna do something like that, tie that in with Ant-Man. I can't remember exactly what it was, but if it was 5 hours ago, I would have remembered it. Let's see, Kevin. Okay, so we've got other characters moving from Disney Plus shows to the MCU after their shows end. Kevin Feige announced that Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk would all be making MCU appearances after their Disney Plus shows wrap up. I'm not excited about any of those moving to the MCU.
No, not really. Like, I know Moon Knight has like a cult following, like a lot of people like him, but he's not really my cup of tea. I was kind of confused by the whole like 3 personalities in his head kind of thing, and I don't know. He's Miss Marvel, hard pass on that.
Yeah, Kamala Khan.
Yeah, like if it were fucking, what was her name? Warbird, I think was Carol Danvers at one point. Miss Marvel, Warbird,
Yep.
I think, where Rogue got her powers. Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Not Brie Larson.
Yep. If they did the Miss Marvel, when she wore the black, the black outfit
With the Thunderbolt and shit.
Yep, I'm down, because she was badass then, and she was actually looked like a woman, and she wasn't. It was still, it was still preachy, but it wasn't as, I would say it wasn't as bad, because I've read a lot of those. It wasn't as bad as the new stuff is. Like, the new stuff is just like blatant, like, intersectional feminism.
Yeah. Well, it was for its time. It was as bad because that was the whole like 70s into the 80s when Ms. was showing up instead of Miss or Mrs.
Yeah.
Now it's Ms. Marvel. So that was kind of that was like their woke at that time. Imagine that being like woke.
Oof.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
I was talking like the Miss Marvel run from like a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
The Carol Danvers one still. But yeah, that's you just, I guess you have to look at that in the context of the time. Absolutely. But yeah, so that's what we got for the MCU this evening. What do you guys think of the Black Widow leaks? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. Hawkeye beating his wife, blames her for the snap. That was Leo Red. She burned his fucking sandwich, and the snap was her fault. That's why he's getting arrested. Oh, I'm just in the right frame of mind to laugh at that. Somebody's gonna soundbite that one. There we go. Let's see, what else do we have here this evening? Oh, well, we've got, let's see here. We're gonna go with Dumb Crim. Well, you know what? I was gonna talk about Charlie's Angels dropping, but we talked about the box office drop earlier in the box office breakdown. So we can just kind of skip that, because I really don't want to talk about Charlie's Angels anymore.
And then that's it. And there's just there's nothing left to be said until Elizabeth Banks retires from Hollywood next week.
God knows she's I don't know if that woman has ever eaten this much humble pie in her life, but I hope she's enjoying it, and she has a nice tasty beverage to wash that down with.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is something I haven't done. This is I haven't done it on this podcast. I used to do this, was one of my radio bits called Dumb Criminals, and I'm going to share this with you from thesmokinggun.com. Cops. Stripper kicked club manager in the groin with her high heel exotic dancer shoes. Yes, these stories are always fun. I absolutely love these. So let's go. Of course, it's in Florida. A Florida stripper is facing criminal charges after allegedly kicking the manager of a gentleman's club in the genitals while wearing high-heeled, quote, exotic dancer shoes, according to a police report. Investigators allege that Lakeisha Ortiz, 35, became unruly yesterday morning after the manager of Sensations, an adult club in Clearwater, asked her to go home for the evening. Cops noted that Ortiz, who is employed as an exotic dancer at Sensations, was asked to leave the club because she was intoxicated. And they want their strippers to be sober. That's cute. Seen at right, Ortiz allegedly threw beer bottles in glass drinking cups upon being asked by manager Mark Cachucha to depart the club. Later, as club security and Cachucha sought to de-escalate the situation, Ortiz allegedly front-kicked Cachucha directly in the genitals while wearing her work shoes. Ouch. If you guys have ever seen those stripper heels, Jesus, that would hurt. God. Ortiz then allegedly kicked Cachucha in the stomach after cops arrived at Sensations, seen below. Ortiz allegedly kicked Cachucha a third time, directly in front of a Clearwater Police Department sergeant. Oh, Lakeisha, girl, you didn't know what you were doing. Charged with battery and disorderly conduct, both misdemeanors, Ortiz was booked into the county jail around 3:15 a.m. She was released from custody Sunday evening on $650 bond, which she kept in a Ziploc bag in her mattress. I just added that last part in, but I'm pretty sure she's got like Ziploc bags full of money around her apartment or something.
Oh, yeah.
So Lakeisha kicked the manager in the balls because she got mad for him calling her out for being drunk on the job.
Honey, I know you have self-esteem issues working this job, but I need you to be sober at work, all right?
Yeah, I need you to put all your daddy issues on the shelf and stay sober for me here, okay? Lakeisha, please, can you do that just one night? Well, there goes that. He's getting kicked in the balls.
I think it's safe to say that she will no longer be working at Sensations in Clearwater, Florida.
Nope. She will. She'll have to go on down to the other end of the block and probably find another gentleman's club to work at. Mm-hmm. That's why I laugh. They call it quote unquote gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah.
I'm like Asian businessmen here for 2 weeks and going in there and making it rain while wearing sweatpants. That's not exactly my idea of a gentleman.
No.
And I'm not joking about that. Those of you with any Leo Red says I pay for that kind of kick. Yeah, dude, that shit usually costs like a couple $100 an hour. Not that I know or I condone it, but I know. Raiders of the Lost Flick says best part of the Charlie's Angels is watching the excuse train come and go. Yeah, pretty much. It's been nothing but an excuse train. I mean, oof. But yeah, so yeah, that story, that's straight out of Florida, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they roll. Ask and we'll have next week. The boardroom will be back here next week. A week from this coming Wednesday, which is we will be right back here for what will be episode 4 of the boardroom. So you guys have that to look forward to. You'll be on that episode, right?
I will.
Muy excelente. We'll have a full cast and crew. And this is I think this is about where we're going to cut it off tonight, unless you have anything you want to throw in.
No, I've incoherently rambled enough for one night, I think.
I know. I think this has been a great episode. We have eight people in the chat. I'd like to thank everybody. Leo Red, Flare X, Raiders of the Lost Flicks, Ray's Double Dong, Darth Tico was here earlier. Fatal J stopped by to say hello, as he always does. Let's see who else I got here. That's about it, man. And me and Salvador. Goober Brothers Entertainment was here earlier. I'm just kind of scrolling back. Like I said, Flare X. I don't want to miss anybody. So I appreciate all of you guys hanging out tonight. And you know, it's been a blast. This is episode 77. Like I said, I started this just needing a hobby to get a yes, hail the chat, Chris Wick. Absolutely. FlareX says thanks for the laugh. Thanks, guys. Love the laughs, dude. Thank you, man. You guys, my core group right here. I see these bigger streams and I love the hell out of them channels, but my God, I really like, I could not interact with that many people. I mean, I'm sure you kind of learn how, and you have, kick-ass mods that kind of like make you aware of certain things that aren't super chats. But thank you guys all for joining us. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here at around 8:45 a.m. Quick morning show. I'll have a few new topics to talk about. It's called About Last Night, but there's a few things I didn't get to tonight. Just in the interest of time, and me and Sal are both ready to pass out. But it's been a long day. I didn't have to get up at 4:30 today, but my kid thought I did. So yeah. And it's been a day, but I really, like I said, I really just, I can't stress enough how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for viewing, coming to hanging out in the live streams and the chats, checking out the videos. Please check those videos out. Just go over, drop a like on this one, on the releases, give them a share, leave a comment. That really helps me out and grow the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. And Sal, go ahead and plug your channel, my brother.
Yes, I am the purveyor of toys and merchandise. I am the director of marketing. I am the $1.02 Toys. It is a YouTube channel that you can find here on YouTube. And I'm on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, 2 Cents Toys on all those platforms. I am so close to 100 subscribers, I can taste it, and that has been my goal since I started the channel. I've got 91 videos for your viewing pleasure of not various topics. It's all toys, but various different toys. If anything like that tickles your taint, then go over there and give me a subscribe, please.
You should all do that if you haven't already. And we'll be opening this up. Actually, I'm going to open this up this weekend. Hang on, I'm going to go back to my screen here. And Sal sent me this, and I have he is waiting to be opened for when me and the little bear cub can have a battle in the living room. And so yeah, this kick-ass Hulk here is going to here, let me do this real quick. Is going to be attacking a village of stormtroopers, I'm sure, or somebody, possibly the Lego City. Trey was like, can he attack the Lego City? I'm like, he can crush the outer wall we're going to build with the big blocks around the Lego City, but he's not busting up the Lego City. I was like, I've spent too much time building that. I'll cry. I'm like, literally, I will cry. He actually got some cool figures the other day. Him and the wife went to the dollar store, and they got the little knockoff Lego figures.
Oh yeah.
But they still work with Legos. They come in sets of 3. It was 1 fighter and 2 zombies.
That's
So
cool.
they were $1, so he got a couple of them. It was pretty cool. So we got them put together and in the with the Lego guys now. So I could go on about Legos, but I want to wish you guys all happy Thanksgiving, which is coming up in a couple days. I'll probably say the same thing tomorrow and on my video on Wednesday. But in case I don't see you, happy Thanksgiving. And I do appreciate all my subscribers and everybody who joins us on these live streams, man. You guys rock. Thank you so much for helping me build this channel up to what it is. And missed MJ tonight, but she'll be back. She like I said, she's a busy lady. And had my brother from the boardroom, our director of marketing, step in tonight. So I appreciate it on short notice, brother.
Absolutely, man. Happy to do it.
I'm always happy to have you on. It was a great show. So be sure to leave a like on the way out. Share this video. Like I said, if you're subscribed, make sure that bell notification is on. And I lost a couple subs the other night, and I gained them back. I lost 1, and I gained 2 back. So I came out ahead. Haha, YouTube, you can't stop me now. I shouldn't say that, but have a good night, guys. I've been saying goodbye for almost 10 minutes, and it'll go on for another 20 because this is how Polish people say goodbye. It takes a long time. So I'll say this. Thank you for joining us. And if I don't see you, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. But I'll see you at 8:45 Eastern tomorrow morning for About Last Night. Say good night, Harry Carey.
Cobb's Land.
That never gets old. I love that impression. There we go.